Hello and welcome to today's session. Today we will see prepositions. The other day I remember someone asking what a preposition is. I don't know whether the person has logged in today, but did you go back and find out the definition for a preposition? Because the other day I didn't say, because we already did parts of speech, so it is expected of you to know all the parts of speech by now, the names and their definitions with clear examples. And as we have already discussed, it's not the word, it's only the usage of word in sentences that matters, right? So what is a preposition now? It is a word that shows a relation between a noun or a pronoun to any other word in a sentence. That is how we define a preposition. Generally, it relates a noun or a pronoun to any other word in a sentence. It tells us the relation between a noun or a pronoun and any other word in a sentence. We will see examples. Things will become clearer then. There is an apple in the basket. Now you see which is the preposition here, in, and what does it do? It relates the noun basket to another noun in the sentence. So this is an example of a preposition showing the relation between two nouns. Now we will see another example. He is afraid of dogs. Here, of is a preposition, again showing the relation between a noun and an adjective. Now let's go to another example where the preposition does something else. She came down the stairs. Down is a preposition showing the relation between a noun and a verb. I hope it's more clear now. See, in all the three sentences, the prepositions on in, of and down show the relation between a noun and something else. In the first sentence, it is another noun. In the second sentence, it is an adjective. And in the last sentence, it is a verb. Most often, the preposition does this. But there are also sentences where the object of a preposition may be even a full clause. For example, if you say, listen to me, to is a preposition, me is a pronoun. But if you say, listen to what I am going to say, there, the object of the preposition to is a full clause. Listen to what I am going to say. Pay attention to what I am going to say. So there the full clauses may be objects of prepositions. Here there are only simple words, sometimes phrases, sometimes even clauses. By now I want you to understand the difference between a phrase and a clause also. Do you know the difference between a phrase and a clause, by the way? A phrase is a group of words with some meaning. It does not have a verb, whereas a clause is a group of words which has a finite verb, but still not a full sentence. So how do you define a sentence? The other day someone asked this question, how do we know that a sentence is complete or not? Remember? How do we know the sentence is complete or not? Only when the meaning is complete. So these are simple things. So if you go back to the sessions and watch them over and over again, I want you to revise. Only then the next sessions will be more useful. Otherwise, still if you are not familiar with the terms, still if you don't know what a verb is, an adjective is, then when we talk about those things, still you will be wondering. I don't want that to happen. So please revise whatever we have already learnt. Okay, see now as you see, as the name suggests, preposition, a preposition always comes before, after, like the examples we see in the basket. So its position is before the noun, on the table. It's before the noun or a pronoun, to me, about him. But there are some sentences, see, this is a pronoun, where you will also see the preposition being placed after the person or thing it talks about. For example, this is the common general usage. That's why it is called prepositions. Now, in a sentence like, okay, he is the man I was talking about. Now, where is the preposition in this sentence? Now, you see, the sentence ends with the preposition. We don't have any other noun or pronoun after the preposition about. But you know clearly what this preposition talks about is the man. Now, you see, the object is placed before the preposition. Whom were you talking to? Now you see, this is more of an informal usage. The more formal usage will be, to whom were you talking? That is a formal usage, but this is also accepted. It's informal usage though. Whom were you talking to? So this to shows the relation or talks about the relative pronoun whom. Then I have found the purse I was looking for. Now you see, again this sentence ends with a preposition. So it talks about the purse which precedes the preposition, right? So there are also occasions where the noun or the pronoun precedes the preposition, but generally, most often, it follows the preposition. But if at all verbs follow prepositions, they must be in the gerund form. Are you familiar with the gerund? Walk is a verb. Walking, if it is used as a noun, it is called a gerund. It is also a participle, by the way, but depending on the usage in a sentence, it differs. Like, for example, she focuses on learning. Now you see, you can never write a verb after a preposition. It must be only the gerund. On or in. I insist on attending the class, right? Then, so, but there are exceptions again, only after except. I want you to note down these two prepositions. Now, but is also a preposition. Very often you will come across but being used as a conjunction, but there are also sentences where but is used as a preposition, but in the meaning of except, only then. Now you see sentences. He had no other choice. He had no other choice or option But listen. Here the to is omitted. So it's called a bare infinitive. When we use the verb without the to, it is called a bare infinitive. But the meaning is understood. See, it's like to. He had no other option but listen, means he had to listen. And but is more emphatic than except. If you say you have to, you can park your car anywhere but here. What does that sentence mean? You can park your car anywhere but here. This sentence means except here you can park your car anywhere. Though it may sound strange, this is what it means. But here means except, not the usual meaning of the contrast when it is used as a conjunction, right? See, if you have any questions, please post them. If possible, those questions will be answered in the middle of the session, or we can reserve all questions to the end of the session. And we will have some exercises also to do. Time related prepositions. See, in, on, at, for, since. All these prepositions talk about time, and it would be better if you type some examples using these prepositions talking about time. By, before, after, during, till, or until. Now, when do we use in? When we talk about a particular point of time, especially years. I finished graduation. In, you see, here we should use in when we talk about year in 1994. When do we use on? When we talk about days and dates. On Monday, on the 22nd of April, we have a meeting, right? When we talk about days and dates, we use on. And at we use when we talk about a specific point of time. Again, like I will meet you at 6 o'clock. The class begins at 5 o'clock or simply at 5. Shall we meet at 5 tomorrow? So at 5, when we talk about the time, it's at, sharp. The meeting begins at 10. Then for and since. There's normally a confusion here. I want you to understand the difference between for and since. For is used to talk about a period of time, whereas since is used to talk about a point of time. Please note it down in your notebook. Here it's a period of time, this is a point of time. Suppose you ask somebody, how long have you been working here? Sometimes we hear people replying, I've been working here since 3 years. Now, was a mistake there? We cannot say since 3 years, it should be for 5 years. Or if you're going to talk about a specific point of time, then it's better to use since. I've been working here since 2012. I've been working here for 3 years. 3 years is a period of time. He has not been well for 3 days. For 3 days. But if you say he has not been well since yesterday. So yesterday is a point of time. 3 days is a period of time. I hope it's clear. Because this is one common error. We can easily avoid that if we know the difference between for and since. By the way, since is also used as a conjunction. We'll come to that later. For is also used as a conjunction, but in a different meaning. By, what is by? Before. See, I will be there. I'll be there by 5, which means you will be there by 5 o'clock, either before 5 or at least at 5 and not later than that. That is what by means with regard to time. Before, again, I will be there before 5, that's clear enough. After any particular time, after 5 minutes, you can say after 5 minutes. During my childhood days, I was fond of sweets. So during, it covers a period of time. Till or until, it talks only about time and never about place. Till, a point of time. Like, wait here till I come. So it need not even talk about a specific point like 5 or 6 o'clock. Wait here till 6, or it can even be wait here till I come. So your coming there is the point of time we are talking about, right? So all these words, all these prepositions are used with regard to time. And there's a difference between at the beginning and in the beginning, though they seem to be similar. At the beginning of something, at the end of something, at the end. So here it literally means the beginning or the end. At the beginning of the session, the instructions will be given. So please listen carefully. The instructions will be given at the beginning of the session. Literally means the beginning of the session, right? Okay. But if you say in the beginning, it means in the earlier stages, initially. But it did not remain the same. It changed after a period of time. In the beginning, everyone was afraid of the maths teacher. Later on, they changed their opinion, right? In the beginning, so in the initial days. So that's the difference between at the beginning and in the beginning. Okay. Then place the positions. I'm just drawing. Let's see. This is a classroom, the board, and there are 2 rows of seats with 6 people seated. And we'll see how to use which preposition, right? We'll talk about prepositions like behind, between, beside, in front of. See, you see here in front of, 3 words doing the work of a preposition, so it's a phrasal preposition. Okay. Now you see, A is sitting beside B. So beside means by the side of. See, there are 2 words, beside and besides. Now I want you to listen carefully, understand the difference between these 2. We'll come to that later also, but here beside means by the side of, near. So A is sitting beside B, B is sitting beside C, D is sitting beside E. That's how we can use beside here. E is sitting beside F. Behind, now they are facing the classroom, see, they are facing the board. So you say D is sitting behind A, at the back of E is sitting behind B, F is sitting behind C. And between, we know very well, and I want you to use the right words. We discussed this in the very first session also under the topic common errors in English, how people generally tend to use the preposition to when they use between. Actually it should be and. So B is sitting between A and C. At least in position I think you will be clear. Only when we talk about time maybe people get confused and they say between 2 to 5, which is wrong. It should be between 2 and 5. The class is from 5 to 6, or the class is between 5 and 6, right? So here E is between D and F. In front of B is sitting in front of E, C is sitting in front of F, just the opposite of behind, right? But when you sit at a coffee table or a study table, when you face each other, we don't say in front of, instead we say opposite. See? Now if this is a table and two people are sitting here facing each other, how do we say that? A is sitting opposite B. It's not opposite to B, never. Sometimes when people give their landmark, like they say my house is opposite to the theatre, opposite to the market, which is wrong, because opposite itself is a preposition. We don't need to add the word to after that. Is that clear? Now here we don't say A is sitting in front of B. Instead we prefer to say A is sitting opposite B. Or we can say A is facing B. Or A and B are facing each other. Any questions? Okay, so far no questions. I'll give you some exercise to do. Your job is just to fill in the blanks with the suitable prepositions. There is nothing new okay. As you find out the answer, you can keep posting the answers. Has he recovered dash his illness? We were warned dash thieves. Aren't you tired? Dash working. Please settle it. Yes. First one. There's nothing new in the sun. How come? Let's wait for more answers. The second one, has he recovered? See, sometimes there are words after which only certain prepositions can be used. So you have to know them. So that comes only with practice. Sometimes in some grammar books you will find a list of words followed by prepositions like but it's not possible to memorize all those words, and that doesn't work always. It comes only with more of reading and applying whatever you have read or learnt. That way it lasts forever in your memory. The second, okay, the first one, there is nothing new under the sun. That's an expression. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay, has he recovered from his illness. Recovered is always from. Has he, somebody has typed it, yeah. Subramaniam, yes, that's right. Has he recovered from his illness is right. We were warned, the third one, why? Do the thieves warn you that they are going to come and rob you? Never. Okay. The next one, aren't you tired dash working? Fifth. What about the fourth sentence? Here it should be against. We were warned against thieves. Against them. We were cautioned, warned against thieves, robbers, right? Criminals. Aren't you tired? This one is, yes. So easy. Tired of, afraid of, fond of. So that's very easy to guess. Please settle it. The last one. Please settle it dash yourselves. Here there are two possible answers, but then the meaning differs. Do we have the first one? By, please settle it by yourselves. Okay. That's another level of meaning. Yes, don't get our help. Yes, not possible to get assistance from anybody else. Settle it by yourselves. Okay. But other than by, it is either between or among. But you can use between only if these people are two in number, not more than that. If it is two brothers or two assistants, two friends, then you say between when you're talking to two people. Don't fight among yourselves. That sentence can be said only to two people. Two people or things, we use between. When the number is more than two, it is among. Don't quarrel among yourselves. If you say, then it means the group is more than two. Two or more, I mean 3 or more, right? Okay. Murali Krishna has written the answer for which one? But we don't have 4 as the answer to any of these sentences. Okay. We have another set of 5 sentences. See, these are just sample exercises. I want you to do more and more of these. Only then you will become familiar with the use of prepositions. This one. It is 5 o'clock dash my watch. If you had watched the first session, common errors in English, then you will know the answer for sure. They insist dash coming. This one also, we already took this as an example. The most common, she prefers tea dash coffee. Dash a job, he owns a business. That's the best thing one can do. The last one. Associate with, oh my God. It's very difficult not to say the answer. Yes. Number 6, has anybody posted the answer? Yes, very good. By is right. That's Monica. Okay. 7. They insist. Now if anybody types the answer wrong for this one, 7th, it means you have not listened well. Just a few minutes back we wrote this sentence on the board. It is on, always on after insist. Okay. She prefers tea. 8, number 8. Now somebody, there is a question from Karthi. What is, okay, that's nothing. Okay. She prefers tea dash coffee. Number 8. Yes, 2. Good. That's from Murali. She prefers tea to coffee is right, where most people use than, which is wrong. It's not than, it's to. Similarly, inferior to, superior to, prior to, not than, right? My job is superior to his, right? Okay. Dash a job, he owns a business. Number 9. Before. Then see, you should look at the tense also. Now we have already attended the session on tenses. Now you should know for sure what the sentence might mean. If the word here, if the verb is owned instead of owns, then what you said is right, probably. Before a job, he owned a business, right? That way the sentence will mean right. But now you see the verb in the present tense, he owns. So you cannot use before. Has anybody else typed the answer for number 9? Number 9. Besides. Besides a job, he owns a business. What does besides mean? Besides means in addition to. In addition to a job, he owns a business. That's why I said you should know the difference between beside and besides. If you add an S to that, the meaning changes. Beside means near, sit beside me. My house is beside the park, near the park. Besides means in addition to. Besides a BMW, he owns a Benz. See, that's a great thing. No, that's besides, in addition to. The last one, associate dash the successful people. Even when I was writing the sentence, I told the answer by mistake. Which one? In front of 10th, not 2. 2 is not the answer. Associate should always be followed by with. Associate with the successful people. Okay. Right. Similarly, you see injurious to, smoking is injurious to health. Same way, see, beneficial to health, harmful to health. So it's only to after injurious, beneficial, harmful. Then sometimes, see, ambition and ambitious, they take different prepositions. He has a great ambition for something, for fame, or power, or wealth, whatever. But when you use ambitious, it is of. He is ambitious of fame, ambitious of power, ambitious of wealth, right? So when the form changes also, the preposition does change. Let me say sometimes sensible of, but insensible to. he is insensible to your kindness, right? The opposite, the preposition changes. Then you have confident. I am confident of his ability. I am confident of his ability, but you say I have confidence. When you change it to another part of speech, this is a noun. I have confidence in his ability. It's confident of, confidence in. Okay, are you taking down all of these words? I want you to, because when you write down, it goes deeper in your memory. Okay. Then now you see before, how the same word before can be used as a preposition, as an adverb, and as a conjunction. Before joining the company, okay, whatever, before joining the company, we want you to read the policies. Okay, we have a question. When to use beside and besides? I missed your explanation, ma'am. Can you explain me if possible? Yes, I can explain. Yeah, please listen carefully now. Don't miss it now. Beside, without the yes, means near, by the side of. Please come and sit beside me. Or I want to sit beside you. So beside means near. Besides, when you add an yes to it, the meaning totally changes. It means in addition to. Besides music, he also has a passion for dance, right? Or singing, dance, something. See, in addition to. Besides being a singer, he is also a dancer. So besides means in addition to. Besides writing poetry, she writes novels too. So do you get the difference, the meaning? Beside means near or by the side of. Besides means in addition to, as well as, moreover, right? Not only this but also that. That's the difference. I hope it's clear. Okay. Now here you see, before joining the company, we want you to read the policies or whatever it is. This is a participle. When we did the session on verbs, I taught the participle. This is the present participle. When you add ing to the verb, it is a present participle. Without the helping verb, I mean. Otherwise, it becomes a main verb. So here, before is used with a participle. It's called a participial preposition. Before joining the company, we want you to read the policies thoroughly. Here it is a preposition. Then please come before I leave. Here this is a conjunction. Our next session is on conjunctions. You will learn more about them. This is a conjunction. Why? It joins two clauses. Please come is one clause. I leave is another clause. It joins. That's the work of a conjunction. If you had listened to the session on parts of speech well, then you will know the function of a conjunction well. Okay. Then I haven't seen him before. Here it is an adverb. Now what does an adverb do? Remember all the three functions of an adverb? Can anyone say? What does an adverb do? An adverb adds more meaning to a verb most often. Sometimes to an adjective and also to another adverb. This is what the adverb does. Now you see here it talks about the verb seen. Any questions? Okay. That is already answered, right? And you see how we use to and till. To we use both for time and place, whereas we use till only for place. Can you think of sentences where we use to talking about time? My job is from 9 to 5. There to is used with time. And place, we went to Delhi. So here you see to being used for both time and place. Till we cannot use for, not place, it's time only. I thought I wrote time. Yeah, it's only for time, not to place. No. Till I will wait till 4. Sometimes we hear people using till referring to place, which is not correct. That's what actually I wanted to convey. So it's used only with reference to time and not to place. I walked till the end of the street is not right. Instead we should say I walked to the end of the street. It's not till the end of the street, because the end of the street refers to place and not time. Is that clear? Because this is where normally we tend to make mistakes. Below, on, above, over. Over, though they look similar, over means two things. One is more than, the other is higher than. Think of examples where we use over in these two contexts, and above talks only about higher than. Birds fly above us, which means higher than us. It's only the position, right? Here, this dress costs over 1,000 rupees. Here you see, you cannot say it costs above 1,000 rupees. Because that's one mistake people commonly make, but we have to be conscious of that. Instead, we have to use only over, because over can mean both, more than or higher than. You can say birds fly over us, you can also say birds fly above us. But when you talk about a sentence where you want to convey more than, you have to use only over and not above. Similarly, it's below and under. It's only the position, space. Okay. The space between two surfaces we're talking about. But here, the two surfaces are actually in contact with each other. Surface. You see, the letter is under the book. We don't say the letter is below the book, right? But instead we can say there's a cat below the, right? Or you can say when you talk about we see apartments, that's a common example. They live below us. If somebody lives in the first floor and you live in the third floor or even the second floor, then you say they live below us, not under us, right? Because there's space. I found this under her pillow, not below her pillow. Only a few more minutes to go, 15 more minutes. Do we have questions? Not yet? Okay. Can give more exercises. And or you can do one thing, I'll give you sentences, you find out whether the word is used as a preposition or as an adverb. That way it will be very, very clear to understand the usage. Come in. Just type adverb or preposition. Let me see how well you have understood the concept. He is in a meeting. They walked into the hall. Yes, are we getting answers? My house is behind the park. Do not leave me behind. The prepositions are already there. I mean, it's a mixture of both. You will find adverbs as well as prepositions. See, the exercise given to you is to find out the part of speech of the underlined word, because I've already told the same word can be used both as an adverb and as a preposition. So your job is to find out the part of speech of the underlined word. So what is in here? Is it an adverb or a preposition? Now you also see in here, in another sentence, sentence number 4. Now you have to distinguish clearly one from the other, the adverb from the preposition. Same way you see behind in 2 sentences. Are we getting answers? So shall I write it here? happened? The screen is blank. Okay. No answers at all. How come? Are you all there? Is it a difficult exercise to do? Yeah, you have to. Only then we can evaluate how well you have understood, right? It's not only me evaluating you, you have to evaluate yourself, to assess yourself, right? We already did a session on adverbs. What does an adverb do? It adds more meaning to a verb, an adjective or another adverb. And what does a preposition do? It shows the relationship between a noun or a pronoun and any other word in a sentence. So if you understand the definition of an adverb and the definition of a preposition clearly, then you will be able to answer this with ease. Now I want answers. See, this is a simple sentence. Come in. Move on. Okay. So the first sentence, in, is not a preposition. It is an adverb because it talks about the verb come. Come where? Remember, the adverb also answers questions like how, when and where. Come where? Come in. Go out. Out is an adverb. Okay. It's an adverb. She ran down. She ran. And now I think at least now you will be able to answer the rest of the questions easily. She ran down. Remember, I wrote another example. She ran down the stairs. There was another example I wrote. There, down was a preposition because the stairs is a noun. But here the sentence stops with down. It talks about again. She ran where? Down. If it is she ran up the stairs, she ran down the stairs or down the steps, then up and down are prepositions. But here they are adverbs. Third one, I haven't met her since 2000. Now this is very clear. Since, then see, particular point of time, it is a preposition. Whereas if I say I haven't met her since, if I stop with this, please listen carefully. If the sentence stops with this, I haven't met her since, then since is an adverb. Here it is a preposition because it is followed by a particular point of time, a specific point of time. Remember the difference between for and since? Okay. He is in a meeting. It is a preposition. Meeting is a noun. Where is he? He is in. It connects a noun and a pronoun. See, they walked into the hall. It's a preposition. And into, so the difference between in and into, in means you're already there. I'm in the room, I'm in the class, which means you're already there. Your position is there, already secure. But if you say you walk into the room, it means it indicates movement. You go from one place to the other. Walk into the shop, walk into the parlor, walk into the mall, walk into the hall. So it denotes movement from one place to the other, whereas in means it's already there. Right? The very first example we wrote, no? There's an apple in the basket, which means an apple is already there. Put the apples into the basket means it's the action of putting them into the basket. Do you get the difference? Okay. My house is behind the park. Somebody has posted second is adverb. Yes, right. That we are. Now come to the sixth sentence. We have already finished 5 sentences. My house is behind the park. The park is a noun. So it shows the relation between the park, a noun, and my house, another noun. So it is undoubtedly a preposition. What does the preposition do? It shows the relation between a noun or a pronoun in a sentence to some other word in the same sentence, right? Do not leave me behind. This is a preposition. Here this is an adverb. They left us behind. So it talks about the verb. Move on. Adverb. Talks about the verb move. It is on the table. So shows the relation between the noun table and the pronoun it. So that is a preposition. Now I wonder how well you have understood prepositions. See, it seems very easy. In schools we would have learnt. But it comes more with practice. That's why I encourage you to read more and more. Take some story books which you will find interesting instead of reading some dull prose, some news. Get some story books, read them, and you will find, and as you read, just keep a note of how the prepositions are used, how the verbs are used, where the tenses are used, which tense is used where, and the use of plural and the use of the articles. There are so many things to keep track of, to keep note of. And unless you do this, it's not going to be easy. See, we are learning a foreign language. English is not our mother tongue. So it's okay if we make a few mistakes here and there. But we should learn to find out the mistakes, correct them, right? This is what I repeatedly keep saying to my students. That makes sense. Okay. Do we have questions? I think people are scared of prepositions. They prefer to be silent. See, the session is going to be over in 2 or 3 minutes. If you have questions, it's good. See, one person asking a question will benefit the whole group. I've already told you that. Don't hesitate to ask questions because it's natural. No, see, that's the main benefit of a live session. Instead of watching a video on YouTube, this is more helpful. One person posting a question will benefit the whole group. Or it can also be the other way. Like you're very thorough, very clear, everything is so clear, no questions at all. So let me take it that way. It's very positive. Let's see. And please go back to the other sessions on other topics. Keep watching them over and over again. Get good grammar books, read them. And please pass the word around to your friends. Ask your friends to register. Visit the website btechguru.com and register yourself for the course Communication Skills. See, it will not only be useful for your career, it will be helpful for your life throughout, because we need to speak the language well, correctly, right? Not only speaking, also writing. So it helps you in many ways. Okay, meet you day after tomorrow. We have the session on conjunctions. That's quite interesting. Then you will see the difference between the preposition and conjunctions there. Okay, see you. Bye.